it wasn't already plain as day and crystal fucking clear that the impending doom and self-destruction of Konami was just on the horizon, everybody hearing that fucking echo known as the goddamn death rattle as the artist formerly known as Konami, then news like this surely should be that nail in the coffin, more like a fucking pointy steel beam straight through the fucking center of that pine box that we're going to lay that goddamn shit-filled corpse inside of. Konami is ceasing any and all AAA production for all of their titles from here on out, with the exception of Pro Evolution Soccer. Let me paint a picture for all of you out there in YouTube land of what the foreseeable future for Konami is going to look like. I can assure you it's bleak and it's fucking abysmal, but I'm going to end up telling you what's gonna happen and go down to year 20XX like I'm fucking Mega Man. I don't need a TARDIS to be able to time travel to tell you what the fuck happened. I use my superpower of common sense. And from looking at the history of the industry to be able to come up with all of this shit right off the top of my head meat. Konami is going to be slashing the ever-loving shit out of every single budget that's brought forward to them by the development staff who are working on all these franchises and games, whether it's new IPs that they decide, oh man, let's go and make a new game, which I can't fucking see happening, or beating the dead horse of a franchise that they already fucking want to milk the living shit out of and then just half-ass the future prospects of this. Oh, that's going to happen. So the development staff is going to come forward and say, hey, so this is our vision, this is how much it's going to cost. Very reasonable budget. Trust us, we'll be able to make this happen. We are going to make this one of the best entries in this series that you've ever seen. People are then going to want to go and check out all the past ones, and we will have finally brought this back to the forefront of the gaming industry. And let's slam on the fucking brakes right there. That's wishful thinking, right? That sure as fuck is, and this is the harsh reality. They'll cut everything by, let's say for sake of argument, 1/4 the budget, so you can assure yourselves of half-ass products, half-ass music, level design, gameplay mechanics, graphics, you fucking name it, and it's a feature in the game, and it's either going to end up not happening whatsoever, or it's going to end up being a rushed bullshit product. That's what you're going to expect. And there's people out there who have certainly done very, very well for themselves with a small budget, and this isn't unheard of. But when you have a big-time publisher like Konami, who is forcing everybody into this tiny little bubble and expecting the world of them, what the fuck do you think happens? We aren't talking about some ragtag misfit group who is just trying to make the best of whatever resources they can gather up together to make the next big innovative game. Nothing like that. You have a fucking conglomerate who's overseeing all this shit, overlooking all those development staff like the fucking Hindenburg, just filled with fucking bullshits and dicks, just flying over them and just saying, you better make it happen, or your jobs will suffer from it. And that's what they love to do. I see that person as one of the up-and-coming, most talented people within this industry. They work their asses off night and day, tirelessly, to go and get the paperwork, to go and say, I am the fucking best at what I do right now. And I've got visions, I've got all these ideas, I am going to be amazing. And especially when I'm working for a company as revered, loved, and recognized as Konami, the development staff will fucking suffer for this. I guarantee that. They'll sit there and they'll cut the budget on all this shit, expect the world of them, and when they don't deliver, they'll go and demote them, because that's really how you end up getting the best out of people, is you take them out of the position altogether and you demote them to janitorial duty, which is some of the fucking goddamn grimy ass bullshit that Konami does, because that's their way of thinking right now. Spend the least amount of money and expect the fucking world. They've got this mobile gaming mentality where you spend $5 to go and make a really half-assed product that's only good for when you're sitting on the shitter trying to go and pass the time while you're trying to go and pass a fucking goddamn number 2 right through a porcelain bowl. That's what they're trying to go and do with this. And they're trying to apply that same mentality to arcades, to PC gaming, to console gaming, to handheld gaming. And you can't fucking do that. I'm not saying that you need to spend billions and billions and billions of dollars to go and get the best possible game. Can it help? Sure enough. You can say, hey, the sky's the limit, do whatever you need. Here is literally the entire fucking goddamn world to you. Make it happen. but they are going to end up fucking corrupting all their own staff, all of their own franchises, and undermining everything because they have lost focus and they've lost touch. Konami is so fucking out of touch with what the industry is right now, what the industry needs right now, what the industry is supposed to be paved for in the future. They're a part of gaming's past. They aren't part of gaming's present as far as I'm concerned because they don't give a shit, they can't give a shit because their focus is elsewhere. This for them is just extra shit on the side. Why the fuck are they going to care? I mean, how often do you hear of a big time company say, yeah, we're not investing much money in this stuff because we care? Is there ever a time that a big company had went out of their way to spend very little who's as big as Konami and this shit turned out to be amazing? I'm not saying that a game is fucking impossible to make off of this kind of stuff, but when you have somebody in charge like them, they aren't going to allow these niche titles. They aren't going to allow just they're going to ruin everything with decisions like this, and they don't care, and I don't fucking get it, because I'm not a business major, I don't run a fucking video game company, but I can see this shit. And I'm not the only person that sees this shit. I'm not fucking crazy or something. Other people out there see this kind of stuff, and they're able to go and echo exactly my own thoughts and say what I'm saying, yet it's falling on deaf ears because they're too busy not giving a shit. They turn a blind eye to all this. They hear what they want to hear. They have selective hearing when it comes to this kind of shit because they think they know better. Their arrogance fucking precedes them. It's ridiculous. I don't see anything good coming of a decision like this, but who the fuck knows? Again, we don't know what the future holds, but I see it being pretty fucking bleak and pretty shitty. So, how do you all feel about that? Pro Evolution Soccer is going to be the only one out of the entire catalog of Konami's games that gets money thrown at it to be developed. Everything else, not so much. Anyway, this is AlphaOmegaSin, as always, nerds, nerdettes, and gamers game the fuck on!